another grazing video, or maybe what did the animals eat video. So here's a comparison between how cattle eat and how goats eat. How and what. So I'll show you here. There's a electric fence right here. You can see a very obvious difference right there already. On the left side, this whole mess is maybe an acre, not very big pasture, but there's some weaned heifers in here. And on this side are some goats, does and young kids. So let's start here on the cattle side. So down to dirt right here, there's some like crabgrass and foxtail and stuff that they ate. And then we get over here, that's common ragweed. Now, it's my experience that heifers or younger cattle are a little more picky eaters than older cattle. So my cows would have taken the tops off of this. Depending on how hard you push them, they might have ate all of it. And same over here, like there's some weeds and stuff that cattle a lot of times will eat some of, but you can see very clearly they've ate all this crabgrass out of here very close. But then there's big weeds, some of them 3 or 4 feet tall. There's giant ragweed, which normally cattle will eat. And so that's kind of how cattle will graze, only maybe these are a little more picky than normal. Now on this side, those heifers were here, and I built this pen and put the goats in here. So the heifers haven't been able to get in here for a little over a week. And you see the difference here. Ragweed taken down to a few inches. Generally speaking, goats will not eat close to the ground unless you really force them to, like, push them hard. Pokeweed right here. No leaves left. They would do that immediately. Pokeweed there. Persimmon. There's several persimmon sprouts here. It's my experience, goats don't really care for that. Again, if you really push them hard, they will eat some of that, but I'm not pushing them that hard. But what I wanted you to see in here is that there's grass regrowing. So right here, that'd be like yellow foxtail there. That's grown back in a week. Those heifers had been here, they would have come and got that. And so that's, I mean, all in all, that's 8 or 10 inches tall. And you know, here's some orchard grass. It's trying to regrow. So it'll take it more than a week to get regrown, but goat's not messing with that. And so it's more green here. There's blackberry vine they ate most of the leaves off of. More green in here because the goats have taken the weeds out and eaten stuff high off the ground, but haven't ate stuff real close to the ground. Which is generally how goats will do. Don't eat, grass is not their preference. They'll eat some, and look at that, regrowing. That's some crabgrass there. Their preference is not grass, and their preference is not to eat close to the ground. And so you'll be able to see really well. See if I can get a good shot back this way. So I kind of weed-eated a path here for the fence, but you can see the difference, how much more has grown up. In this case, on the left side, I'm looking the opposite direction on the fence versus the right side, because these goats have let it grow back up, but they're just eating the weeds out. And then we'll come down here and take a look. Another example. Maybe it's too long of a video for you. fescue grass growing back. More grass growing back there. Blackberries eaten down, which is why I put them in here. But look right over here. Wing stem, 4 foot tall. Giant ragweed over there, 4 or 5 feet tall. Lots of weedy stuff in there. Versus over here, now granted the vines are still there on the blackberries, they just haven't got up that high. But compared to right here where they've ate the weeds down, kind of looks like it was brush hogged, other than some tall stalks, but it's more green. And so again, a good combo here, like my opinion, based on how I've seen animals operate. Run some cattle in, let them get what they want, move them out, put the goats in, they'll eat the rest of the stuff, and the goats are generally not going to affect the grass regrowing. As long as there's enough weeds for the goats to eat. But right here where it's so brushy, the goats will get through that, but they're going to generally eat from the outside in, whereas cattle will kind of walk through the middle of things more. So again, my opinion of why to run the cattle first. I'm sure there's lots of other people that have differing opinions, and they're probably right in different situations. But anyway, just some of my analysis of what goats eat versus cattle eat and how to have the two. It would be my opinion on my place, as much brush as I have and as much time as I spend brush hogging, I would love to have 100 more goats. But we're just not there yet, so I spent the last couple days cleaning up brush that was in some cases over 8 feet tall, blackberry vines 8 feet tall, and if you had some goats, they would have ran in there and ate some of that down, but you'd have to have a lot of goats to really affect that. Thanks for watching.